Hello guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to do an SQL injection in Metasploitable 2. That's an SQL injection attack on a web application in Metasploitable 2. For those of you that don't know what Metasploitable is, it's basically a virtual machine or an operating system that is made vulnerable on purpose that you can test your exploits and your hacks on. So that's what I'm going to be teaching you today, how to use John the Ripper to crack the hashes you get from the web application after doing the SQL injection. I'm also going to show you how to do that. So first thing we are going to do, I've already logged into my Metasploitable 2. Then we'll go to Kali and run a ping test to check if the host only connection is active. So the two systems, the two VMs need to be on the same host only network. So that's what I'm doing now. So you can see the ping is going through, which means the two virtual machines are connected. So next thing we do, we open Firefox browser, the Firefox Mozilla browser. It will take some time to appear because I'm doing a lot on my PC, so the resources are limited. So it will take some time to appear. So it's coming up. So the first thing we'll do, we visit the URL, the IP address of the Metasploitable, which is 192.168.56.80. So we visit that URL, and by doing so, the interface appears where we can access the damn vulnerable web application. That's DVWA. That's the web application we'll be performing the SQL injection on. So you click on DVWA, then it will show you a web interface. So you enter the username as admin, then the password will be password. That's the default for this web application on Metasploitable. So you log in. So the next thing we'll do after this, as you can see, the password is also password. We go to the security and we change it to low because the default is high. So to perform this attack, we change the security to low. And you click on submit, then click on SQL injection. So this is the inputs you are going to be performing the SQL injection on. So the first thing we are going to do, we are going to confirm the vulnerability with the command one, then apostrophe. So if it shows this error, it means that the web application is vulnerable. Normally, it's not supposed to show anything if the security is high. So because it showed that, it means it's vulnerable. So that confirms our suspicion. So the next thing we run is the always true injection. So this is one, then apostrophe, or one is equal to one. The reason this works is because one is always equal to one. So that's why this SQL injection works. So it provides the first name, the ID, and also the surname of the users on the system. So after doing that, the next attack we perform is we check the database version. So just type in this command you can see on your screen. This will show us the the version that the database is running, and also the operating system is running on. Let me see if I still remember the command correctly. Um, for those of you that don't know what SQL is, it's a like it's the standard language for communicating with databases on web applications. So if you are a cybersecurity expert, I suggest you take a course on SQL and how it works to understand it. All right, I think this is the correct command. So this will show us, it will show us the the operating system and the version that is running. As you can see, it says Ubuntu, and then the version is 5.0.51a. So that's the version. The next command we run is the command for checking to get the database user. These are all basic commands. The that's the main thing we want to do is get the password hashes, which is the next command we are going to do. So as you can see, it shows us the root user, the name of the user, which is root at localhost. So what we'll do after this, we'll perform an SQL injection to get the password hashes from the database. So you type the following command. All right, it brought up an error. So let's try again. So make sure you type the command in correctly. Some machines, they accept dash dash, some accept hash at the end. So I'm going to use hash because that's what the Ubuntu on this down vulnerable application accepts. So as you can see, we have the first names and the password hash. Although the password hashes are appearing under the surnames, but that's not actually the surname. It's the password hash for each user. So normally databases don't store the passwords of the user. It stores the password hash, which is an encrypted version of the string. So we'll copy that and we'll paste it in a txt file. Then we clean it because we are going to be using John the Ripper to crack the hashes and get the passwords. So first we open a new txt called password hashes.txt. Then we'll just paste those information we copied from the web application, which included the first name, the password hashes. So as you can see, the first hash is the same as the last one, which means the password for admin is also the same as the password for Smithy. As you can see, check the hash, you see that it's actually the same thing. So we'll just delete Smithy because when we crack the password of admin, it's also the same password for Smithy. So we delete it. The only thing we want here is the hashes. We only want the hashes because that's what John the Ripper will crack to get the passwords. So just delete every other thing except the hashes. So just keep deleting it. There's an easier way to do all this. We automate it. but that might be a little more confusing because of all the commands we have to use. So that's it. We have four hashes. The first hash is the same as the hash of the fifth one, so we don't need the fifth. So now we are going to clear our terminal. Then we'll go to John the Ripper. We use John. Type in this command. Then we use a word list, the raw queue word list, which is a list that is very large that comprises of different usernames and passwords. So fortunately for us, the password for this down vulnerable app is already available in this rawqueue.txt. So next we type in password hashes.txt, which is the txt file where hashes are located. So we press enter. As you can see, we just cracked the password. It's very fast. So the password for admin is password, and the password for the rest of the users, you can see it there, which means the password for Smithy is also password. So you can see it, right? So next thing we are going to do, we are going to open a separate txt file, which is usernames. That's user pass.txt. So here we'll just put in the passwords and the user name. That's the users that the password is for. We can also automate this to get rid of those question marks, but it will be confusing. Maybe I'll do a separate video on bash scripting after this. So we'll just delete the question marks and replace it with the usernames. We've already cracked the password, but I just want to clean it. You can see the first user is admin, the second one is Gordon B, and so on. So that's where we are going to type in. So we delete the question mark and type in admin, which is the username of the first user. Then we delete the second one and type in Gordon B as the username of the second user. Then the let me in password belongs to the user 1337, which is the first name. I don't know why it's like that on this web application. Then the password for Charlie is Pablo. The username for Charlie password is Pablo. While Smithy, the password for Smithy is also password, which is the same as the admin. So that's just it. If you test these passwords in the login page, you see that it will work. So let's do that. We'll go to the brute force option and we'll try to log in with this password we just found. Or we'll log out instead. Let's just log out. Then we'll log in with this Gordon B. So the username is Gordon B. Then the password is ABC123. So we log in. As you can see, it works. It says you have logged in as Gordon B at the bottom. So that's it. That's how you crack a password. That's how you crack hashes that you get from an SQL injection in Metasploitable. So thank you guys. Like this video and subscribe. You can share with your friends.